Welcome to the channel, Color of Fragrance, and I am your host, Vonnie EC. And yes, this is my very first fragrance review video on this channel. I did a video. I have another channel. I actually have another channel that's built off trucking content, but I did a video because throughout my content, I mentioned things about fragrances here and there. So, some of the people that support my channel, another trucker, they was requesting that I do a video on fragrances. So I did a video, and the title of that video is called A Trucker That Smell Good. And, I just did that for the people who asked, and that video got way more traction than I ever expected. You know what I mean? I didn't think that really the people outside of my subscriber base, of people that support my channel, would even check that video out. But a lot of people came through, and I got a handful of subscribers, of people who subscribe to my trucking channel based on that video. So yeah, it just kind of inspired me. I've been going back and forth for a long time. Like, do I even want to do a fragrance channel for real, or because I understand what come with doing a fragrance channel. I mean, you got to buy more fragrances. And in that video that I made, I was touching on how I think the collection that I got right now is excessive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But, I said I'm just going to have fun with it. Because obviously people was interested in my perspective, and people appreciated my perspective on fragrances and how I got into fragrances. So I basically, just gave my history about how I got into fragrances from childhood all the way through into my adulthood. And things of that nature. So, but the thing is, I don't want to mix the content, because people came to my channel, a trucking channel, based on that fragrance video. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start a fragrance channel. That way I don't cheat either of the types of content, because if I talk about fragrances, I want to go all in and have a conversation about fragrances. I don't want to try to cheat it and try to figure out how to weave it into the trucking content, because it's people that subscribe to my channel. They live for the trucking, which was what that channel originally started for. And some of those people don't care about fragrances, and I'm gonna have, and it's people that came to my channel, subscribe because of the fragrances, that don't care nothing about trucking. So I just rather just keep it separate. That way, when a conversation about fragrances is coming up, or I'm doing a conversation on fragrances or videos or whatever the case may be, I can fully go into it. So anyway, this video I'm doing today is about a fragrance that I really felt was overhyped. I stayed away from it. I fought it, for quite some time, for like a couple of years. And it's just been lingering in my mind for a long time. I just got it in the mail yesterday. And I kind of knew that I was going to do this video today, so I didn't even open it up. So I wanted to be the first to open it up with y'all. So I opened up the box that it came in, but we'll just show you what it possibly could be. Yeah, so even as I'm doing this video, I don't know if I'm going to leave the fragrance a secret in the title, or if I'm just gonna name it. But people that's in the fragrances or in the fragrance community or whatnot, they all know about this fragrance. This fragrance is a very, very well-known fragrance. And just by me saying it the way that I'm saying it, you probably already know what it is. And I already showed you the house. Yeah, you guessed it. Imagination. We ain't even gonna play all them games. Imagination. So yeah, let's open it up. But I like this box. I like this presentation. They send me a card. Louis Vuitton, we hope you pleased with the experience. Yeah. We know all that. So, nice presentation. Nice presentation. And once again, like I say, man, people that's on this fragrance, man, everybody know about this fragrance by now. It's one of the reasons why I stayed away from it. Me personally, I don't like hype. I just got a natural thing that when things get hyped up, I run away from them. I go the other way when it comes to hype. But you know, this particular fragrance, man, they got cards and stuff everywhere. Oh, what is this? Envelopes inside envelopes. What is this? What is this? Oh, I guess this is to spray it, a sample. I guess that's what this is. Yeah, things that everybody is hyping up, I always been that way. I stay away from things that's hyped up. And Imagination is a fragrance that has definitely, within the past few years, have been super hyped up. But obviously I got it, and it's a reason I changed my mind. So, opening up the box. Let me just open this up, man. We're gonna quit playing games. Oh, okay. So they gave me some samples of Meteore, if I'm saying it right. Meteor or Meteore, if I'm saying that right. And they gave me a sample of Le Jour c'est la vie. Le Jour c'est la vie, if I'm saying that right. Le Jour c'est la vie. Okay, we're gonna try them out so I see what that card was for. All right, man. So we already know, man. Nice packaging. This is a nice presentation. They definitely got this is a nice presentation. It really make you feel like you got a hold of something. So here we go. Imagination. Here we go. Ta-da. Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and give it this first spray. Start the maceration process. So I'm gonna spray this arm because I got something else I'm gonna spray on my other arm. So, yeah. I smelled this fragrance a few years ago in DC, in the Tyson's Corner area, at the Louis V. And at the time, I don't think I really knew nothing about Imagination. I think at the time I was familiar with Afternoon Swim. That was one of Louis V's fresh fragrances that I was really familiar with. So I remember being in the Tyson's Corner and going to the Louis V store and, you know, just smelling through some of their fragrances. And I remember smelling Imagination. I remember Imagination smelling quite well. But my thing, even with Afternoon Swim, or just any one of those freshies from Louis V, the Afternoon Swim is a very beautiful fragrance, but for the price that they was asking, I don't know, I didn't see me paying that much for a freshie, especially for a freshie that I felt didn't last that long from the samples that I had. You know what I mean? I'm not the type to expect every fragrance to be beast mode, but it's like, you know, give me at least 5-6 hours. You know what I'm saying? At least 5 for a freshie, 5. But the sample of the Afternoon Swim that I had, I don't think it was giving me that. So it was kind of so as far as giving me that. So I just, you know, that was just my judgment on Louis V's fresh fragrances. And I'm just like, well, do I want to pay the price for one of these fragrances? I mean, because at the time, the Afternoon Swim, and then, you know, I ended up smelling the Imagination. They smell great, but I just didn't know if I wanted to spend that type of money on a freshie, right? So time went on, and Imagination really started coming to the forefront. Really, people really started hyping it up, and then the dupes came. So one of my partners, you know, we was out of town together one time, and he was actually rocking a dupe of Imagination by Yom and Leo. and it smelled good. It smelled good. And I ended up getting the dupe of Imagination myself. I can't remember if I got it before that or after that, but I ended up with a dupe from Doer of Imagination. And no, I'm not a huge dupe guy, even though I got some dupes. I do got some doers, and we're gonna get into that one another time. But I ended up getting the dupe of Imagination from Doer. Let me spray it on this arm so I can compare it. So this smells good. It smells close to it. It's something in this that is that leans a little bit more green. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever green that the OG might have in it, it's something in this that just got something that's just a little bit more green in it. I can't really necessarily pinpoint it, but this is a good clone. See, I smell, with the OG Imagination, I smell more tea. With the dupe, it's something more green in here. It's something that's standing out. They got more of a greenish type of vibe to it. But so, you know, from smelling what my homeboy had on that one time with the Yum and Leo, and then eventually coming into this dupe, you know, so now I'm steady smelling Imagination or dupes of it. And then I'm seeing all the hype about it. And like I said before, the more hype that I see about a fragrance, the more I want to stay away from it. It's the same exact reason why I don't have Creed of Venice. I don't have it. I should have it, but I don't, because it's the same thing. Once I got into fragrances, it was all this talk about Creed of Venice this, Creed of Venice that, and then you got all these dupes. So I smelled the DNA so many different times in so many different forms that, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't need to get Creed of Venice. Even though I still feel like, I still be telling myself like I need to get it. But about time I got on to Creed of Venice, it was a lot of talk in the fragrance community about how, you know, a lot of these batches are not good, or they're different, or if you want to find a good batch of a Venice, you got to find this particular batch with this particular number. And it just was complicated. So I just never mess with Creed or Venice. I never went out my way to buy a bottle. And then plus a lot of people were saying that the reformulations as of late wasn't as good as they were some years ago. So that hype train just completely just threw me off. Like, I got a couple fragrances that are made in that Creed of Venice DNA, but I just never went out my way to get Creed of Venice because the hype just turned me off. And the same thing with Imagination. Like, I tried to block it out for a long time. But I don't know. I wear this to the gym a lot. Well, I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you and say a lot, because you can see you know what I'm saying, I don't use it a whole lot. But when I do wear this, most of the time I'm wearing it to the gym. The times that I have worn it. But one day I wore it probably like a couple weeks ago, and just, you know, it just reminded me like, man, it just reminded me. It just gave me a reminder. And I made this promise to myself that I wasn't going to buy any more. I wasn't going to be doing too much buying fragrances over the internet like I've done before. You know, blind buys, and just, you know, the convenience of ordering things off the internet. I know, pretty sure a lot of us know how they go. You know, it can get excessive. So I made a promise to myself, like, I wasn't buying any more fragrances unless I buy it from the physical store or I'm out and about. But I got to buy it physically. So I happened to be in Detroit a few days ago, and I went to a high-end mall that's near Detroit, probably like 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of Detroit, in Troy, Michigan to be exact. Somerset Collective. So I went to the Louis V in there, and I knew when I went to Detroit, I said I was gonna go smell some fragrances. So I'm like, man, let me go smell this Imagination. I'm gonna go smell it. It was a couple other fragrances I smelled before I got to Louis V, but I knew Imagination, I wanted to go smell it. So I went to the Louis V. I sprayed the Imagination on my hand. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I left the mall. I left the mall because I told myself, like, man, like, nah, I'm not gonna buy nothing. I'm not gonna buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? Buying a bottle was not my intentions, but you know how this fragrance thing go. So I said I wasn't gonna buy nothing. But as the day is going on, even from when I left the mall, like I'm smelling the fragrance, the imagination breaking down, and it's breaking down so beautifully. So you know, and when I sprayed it, I made a mistake. Instead of spraying it on my hand right here, I sprayed it on my fingers, like right here. So just throughout the day, I'm, you know what I'm saying, basically smelling my fist. And it's just breaking down so good. 6 hours go by. That same day, it's still on my hand and I can smell it clearly. I'm like, okay, so it passed the 6 hour test. 6 hours, that's supreme for me. It ain't gotta be beast mode. 5 hours acceptable. Six, supreme. It made it to the 6 hour mark. And even beyond that, it still was on my hand. I woke up when I went to sleep and woke up the next day, it still was on my hand. Now, it wasn't projecting off my hand, but the remnants was still there the next day. But to be honest with you, let me rewind back. Once I realized it passed that 6 hour mark in performance and staying power, I ordered it off the internet, which is what I did not want to do. That particular day, the next day, I was planning on leaving. I was checking out the next morning to come on back home. So at first I was thinking about going back to that mall to purchase it, the physical, so I can keep my promise to myself. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to go all the way back 30 minutes and then I ain't want to do all that. So I'm like, you know what? I smelt it in the store. My influence to buy it came from me being in a physical store. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to accept that as me buying it from the store. Even though once I realized it hit that 6 hour mark and I'm still able to smell it clearly on my hand, that's when I made the purchase. And just the way it was just drying down, man, it was just too good, dog. It was just too good. I could not pass it up. And it just made me check myself in my hype phobia, because hype made me not want to pay no attention to it. The hype made me not want to pay the price for it. And I tried to just settle for this. I tried, but once I got the OG on my hand again, just like I'm smelling it right now, once I got it on me again and was able to let it, you know, do its thing during the day, it just hit me, man. And it was just undeniable. It was just undeniable. So, you know, like I say, a lot of people know this fragrance, man. And the whole point of this video, the message of this video is like, man, sometimes you just got to accept things when they good. You know, I know a lot of us that's in this fragrance hobby, or we in fragrance enthusiasts. You know, it's levels to this. So sometimes your taste buds will change, your taste will grow. Excuse me, until the point to sometimes you can be a fragrance snob. And I'm not gonna lie, I got some slight snobbery ways. You know what I'm saying? You know, it just all come with your taste and how your taste grow in time. But like I say, I originally wanted not to mess with this just because it was hyped up. And then I didn't want, then the price for a freshie, because I got freshies, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, do I want to pay the price for this freshie? But when I wore it, that day when I sprayed it on my hand in the mall, it just broke down to everything I would want a well-performing freshie to be. It's good, dog. It's good. And look, I'm not trying to be on the hype train of imagination. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just being honest. Yeah, you know, I got that snobbery. That because I used to have Baccarat 540, but I sold it. I sold it for two reasons. For one of the first reasons I sold it because I heard everybody talking about it, which was dumb, you know. because you want to feel exclusive. So I ended up selling it, but I really sold it to see. That was the first fragrance to see if I had the strength to start letting fragrances go, because I started feeling like I had too many. So I started with the Baccarat, and I put it on, put it on my social media platform for sale for X amount, and it was gone the same day. So I wish I wouldn't have sold my Baccarat 540, to be honest with you. One day I'll get it back, but I got a dupe of it until then. But I just learned a lesson from this imagination, man. If it's good, sometimes you just got to roll with it. And then, if you like me, hype turns you off. A lot of people get turned off by hype alone. If it's hyped up too much, we don't want nothing to do with it. But I'm just being honest, man. Like, this fragrance is good. For a freshie, like, I'm seeing people already comparing it to Creed of Venice as far as hype is concerned and the impact that it has. And I'm going to be honest with you and say, yeah, Creed of Venice, Baccarat 540, I think those are like two of the last like top dog fragrances that a lot of people, especially niche, that a lot of people know about. I mean, this is designer technically, but I think it's niche quality. You know what I'm saying? The presentation, I think is niche. I automatically in my mind is niche, but it's undeniable. It's undeniable. And yeah, to sit this fragrance up there with other powerhouses like Creed and Baccarat 540 for what this is, as far as just like a clean freshie. Now, I've seen people say, well, it don't last on them. It don't last long. I mean, maybe so, maybe not. Maybe some people go anosmic to this. Maybe you spraying so much on that you going nose blind. Or maybe you getting the bottle and you spraying it and ain't, gave the fragrance enough time to macerate yet. That could be a problem too. Sometimes fragrances got to sit after you spray them. They got to sit for a while and let them macerate, and they might get stronger. So maybe that could be the issue too. But the performance off that sample, off my fist, is what sold me. But because the smell of the fragrance, but that was the second thing that sold me. Once it reached that 6 hour mark, I'm like, okay, we good to go. Now, maybe I was able to smell this throughout the day because I didn't spray my body down with it. I just sprayed one time on my fist, so I don't have the fragrance surrounding me to where I can go anosmic to it. So to me, from my experience from that sample, it lasts. And like I say, even when I woke up the next morning, I was still able to smell remnants on my hands. So, that's my take, and that's my message with this video. It's hyped up, yes. This is a hype beast fragrance, but if you like this DNA, if you like clean, fresh fragrances, like, this does what it's supposed to do. It really do. To the point to where I had to buy it. And it just break down so beautifully. So let me see. In the dry down, they both smell real similar. Initially, a little different. Like I say, initially, the OG got the tea. And whatever citrus is in it, that's the tea is standing out. But in the dupe, it's something green in it that's kind of standing out more and more. But, I ain't going to sit up here and wait till it dry down. But that's my take on imagination. So, if you ain't ever smelled it, get your nose on it. I mean, you can go for a dupe. You can go for a dupe. So you got to get what you can afford, if you don't want to pay the price for the OG. But to me, I feel like the price that I paid for it was worth it. And like I say, I was in denial about it. You know what I mean? For a few years. But I had to drop my pride and go ahead and get it. So that's just me. If you stayed to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for coming to the channel. The Color of Fragrance, Vonnie EC, and I'm out.